Hello everyone, Happy New Year and welcome to January of 2024's first ever Tea Tasting Club episode. So it's a brand new year. Lots of us are going to be trying to get in a lovely kind of wellness state of mind, a nice fresh new start to the year. So we've got some absolutely lovely teas to kind of support you along that journey to kickstart your 2024. If you've got a tea tasting club this month, or maybe if you don't, there's 3 different boxes that you can get. So you can get either a Flavour Explorer, a Gourmet Box, or a Caffeine Free Box. A Flavour Explorer box is basically for those people who want to try loads and loads of different kinds of tea, explore lots of different flavours and tea types, and just get stuck into everything. So if you're that person, the Flavour Explorer box is perfect for you. If you are more of a traditional tea drinker, then the Gourmet Box will be perfect for you. And that's for those people who love a black tea, who love maybe a Great British Cuppa, a Yorkshire tea, an Earl Grey, that kind of thing. If you're that person, then the Gourmet Box will be great for you because you get loads of lovely black teas in there, with only just like a couple of teas here and there that pushes that comfort zone a little bit, but not too much that it makes you feel terrified, which is great. And we also have a caffeine-free box, which is perfect for those caffeine-free people out there who want to cut out all the caffeine out of their tea but still have really delicious blends. So we've got something that's perfect for each and every one of you. So let's get started in trying all of our teas. I'm going to show you some lovely recipes, talk you through all the ingredients, and let's get started with our Flavour Explorer box. Okay, so kick-starting off January's boxes with our Flavour Explorer box, we've got 3 really delicious flavours for you to try here. We've got our Chinese Treasures, Lemon and Ginger, and Moondrop Dreams. Now, I think I'm going to use our Moondrop Dreams to do a demo for this one, just because this is one of my favourite blends of all time. I really love this blend because you can enjoy it in so many different ways. It is really nice, just with a bit of hot water, just as it is. Or hot water and a splash of milk is also nice. It makes a really good tea latte. That's my favourite way to drink it, as a latte with some oat milk and a bit of honey or vanilla in there. But it's also really good to have as a cold brew. You can cold brew it with milk, or you can cold brew it with lemonade. The lemonade is really nice as well, so it's super versatile. And I think I'm going to make it as a latte today, because that's my favourite way to drink it, and I think you guys will really love it too. So let's get started by making a tea concentrate. If you want to make any kind of latte or iced tea of any kind, you're going to need to make a concentrate first. So a concentrate is essentially just a really strong tea. So you use more tea than you usually would and less water than you usually would. So I'm going to use 2 to 3 teaspoons, but I'm going to use 3 because I like quite a strong brew. There we go. 3 teaspoons of Moondrop Dreams. This is one of our perfect teaspoons as well. It helps you to get that absolutely perfect measure. Now, because this is a rooibos blend, I'm going to take some boiling water and let that brew for 4 minutes. But I'm only going to use a little bit of water, so maybe about 200 mils of water roughly. Just going to eyeball it, but yeah, about that much. And I'm going to let that brew. And whilst that brews, I'm going to tell you a little bit about all of these blends, because these are some really lovely ones. Perfect blends here for kind of kick-starting that January feel-good energy that we always try to bring in at the start of every year. We've got a tea for everything here, really. We've got the Moondrop Dreams, which is a lovely rooibos base, and it's perfect for winding down, maybe a tea you want to have before bed. That's when I like to drink it, to be honest. I like drinking it all day, but it is a really nice bedtime tea. And this one has got rooibos as the base. It also has apple pieces, rosehip, lavender, lemon peel, fermented lemon peel, and orange peel. But the overriding flavours are definitely lavender and lemon. But that rooibos base gives it a really cakey feel. So when you're drinking it, I'm personally not a big fan of floral teas, and you might at first think this one is floral, but actually it's really cakey. I think you just have to try it. It's one of my favourites. It's so good. Then we've got a classic lemon and ginger here. This is quite a nice blend to have if you've got a bit of a cold, if you're feeling it under the weather. You know, we often like to reach for a lemon and ginger in those times, don't we? And this one is a herbal blend, so again, completely naturally caffeine free, just like the Moondrop Dreams. And this one has got ginger, apple pieces, rosehip, fermented lemon peel, lemon myrtle, and orange peel as well. And this one is really strong, really zingy and fruity. It smells just like a lemon sherbet. I feel like I can smell the sherbet in there. It's really nice, and again, it's really nice just to have it as a hot tea. We probably wouldn't usually put milk with a blend like this because the lemon might curdle the milk, but I think it makes a really nice hot tea with just some boiling water, let it brew for 4 minutes, or even cold brewing it with some lemonade. Then it is so good. I've made some nice cocktails and mocktails out of this blend before actually. I've put 6 teaspoons of the tea into my cold brew bottle, and then I've topped it up with lemonade, and then that's a lovely mocktail. But if you wanted to add a little bit of gin to it, you can do that as well, and it's really nice. So you can give that one a try. And then last of all, we've got the Chinese Treasures, which is a lovely green tea. If you're someone that pops into store and you're like, oh, I just want a normal green tea, this will probably be the green tea that all of our tea mixologists pull out for you. Now, there's nothing normal about this blend because obviously we specialise in blends, which means there's loads of weird and wonderful ingredients in there, but it's a really classic, nice kind of raw, earthy green tea. So it's called Chinese Treasures because it's inspired by Chinese herbal medicine, and the ingredients in here are a Chinese jasmine green tea. It's got ginger and goji berries, ashwagandha and jasmine blossom. Goji berries are really high in antioxidants, so it's a really good kind of healthy kick in this tea. And like I said, it's really nice and earthy, and you can really smell and taste that jasmine in there as well. Oh, it's so underrated, that one, I feel. So definitely, I can't wait for you to give all of these a try. I think you're going to really like them. Okay, so our Moondrop Dreams concentrate is fully brewed. Look at that lovely rich colour there already. I'm just going to grab a mug, using a glass mug, so you can see how this Brewdini works. If you've never used a Brewdini before, this is a Brewdini, and it will absolutely change the game with you with loose leaf tea. I definitely used to be someone that couldn't be bothered with loose leaf tea. I was much more of a tea bag person, just quick and easy. But then when I started working at Bird & Blend, I got myself a Brewdini, and it changed everything. It makes it so easy. So all that happens, it's called a gravity steeper, Brewdini gravity steeper, and it just sits on the top of your mug, and you'll see why it's a gravity steeper now. It all strains out of the bottom, so it looks cool. It's really fun to use, and the Brewdinis are dishwasher friendly. The lid just pops off. You can take it all apart if you want to, and the filter comes out and everything as well. But yeah, really easy to use, really handy bit of kit to always have in your cupboard. And also, because they're quite big vessels, it gives the tea lots of room to move around, and the more room the tea has to move around, the stronger the flavour will be and the more delicious your tea will be as well. So that is our concentrate in the mug. Now I've got some hot milk on the side here for our latte up there, and I've got a handheld milk and matcha frother. These are another bit of kit that I swear by. For me, my two favourite tea tools is the Brewdini and this whisk, because Brewdinis are great for everything, and the whisks are really good for whisking matcha or for making lattes, and they're pretty much pocket size, so they're not going to take up loads of room in your kitchen like a big coffee machine would, which is great. So I just like to pop it at the top of my hot milk, give it a little foam. It takes only about 10 seconds to foam it. It's really easy to do. If you wanted to add any sort of honey or vanilla, you could definitely do that now into your hot tea, into the concentrate there. There we go. Just like that. It's really lovely and foamy. I'm just going to add the milk. This is oat milk I'm using to my concentrate. And look how foamy that is already. It's so delicious. I absolutely love this blend. You need to give it a try. It's so good. It really just tastes like almost like a lemon cake with lavender undertones, but not in an overpowering kind of floral way. It's just a game changer. Give it a try, and if you like it, let me know what you think. And also let me know what you think of all of the blends in our Flavour Explorer box. Okay, so moving on to our gourmet box, we've got 3 really delicious flavours for you to try. We've got a proper fan favourite here, which is our chocolate digestives. We've got the Moondrop Dreams, which some of us tried in the Flavour Explorer box already. And then we've also got the Assam House Blend. That was one of our very first blends here at Bird & Blend. So these make, all of these make really nice hot teas. the Moon Drop Dreams and the chocolate digestives also make really nice tea lattes. So if you do fancy making the chocolate digestives as a latte, just follow the exact same recipe that I showed you for the Moon Drop Dreams in section 1 of the video. But I think I'm just going to make the chocolate digestives as a hot tea. Sometimes you can't go wrong, which is to keep it simple. And so what I'm going to do is, I've got a mug here, and I've got a lovely Bird and Blend infuser basket. It's got Bird and Blend in the front, it's got a little logo there, it's so sweet, and it just sits in the top of your mug like so. The lid comes off, which is great. So if I just want to have 1 cup of tea for me, I'm just going to use 1 teaspoon of the chocolate digestives, pop that in there, and I'm going to fill it up with boiling water, because this is a black tea, so it needs 100-degree temperature water, and to let that brew for 4 minutes. There we go, pop that in like that, and whilst it brews, put the lid on like that to keep it nice and warm, and then I'm going to talk you through all the ingredients in our lovely blends. So, chocolate digestives is a Sri Lankan black tea as its base. It's got cocoa shells, it's got fenugreek, cocoa nibs, licorice root as well. 2 really interesting ingredients in here. One is the fenugreek, that gives it a really lovely creamy flavour. If you've ever tried our buttermint tea, that also has fenugreek in it, so it's a really lovely, creamy, delicious blend. It also has the licorice in, that's another quite interesting ingredient to add to this. But don't be put off by this, because it doesn't actually taste like licorice at all. Licorice acts as a natural sweetener, so it just helps to lift and sweeten the tea, but in a natural way, which is really, really nice. So the other blend in this box, we've touched on the Moon Drop Dreams already in the Flavour Explorer box, but just to give you a quick recap, it's got a rooibos base, so it's naturally caffeine free. It also has apple pieces, rosehip, lavender, lemon peel, fermented lemon peel, and orange peel as well. So quite a lovely fruity, floral, and cakey blend all at the same time. And last of all, we have Assam House Blend. Now this one used to be called New House Blend, and it was named after, I believe it's Mike, one of our founders' parents' houses. So it's been with the company for a very long time. I imagine, well, how long have we been running now? 11 years? So right back when Mike and Krisi started the company 11 years ago, this is one of the very first blends that they made, which is really exciting. Now, if you love an Earl Grey and you love a kind of strong builder's brew, then this is the blend for you. If you give it a smell, you can still smell that bergamot scent coming through there, so that lovely classic Earl Grey smell, but it's also a really strong blend, and that's because the tea leaves have been cut, torn and curled. So when you look at the tea leaves, you can see lots of them just almost look like little balls, and that is because the tea has been through quite a lot of processing to get this way. So processing is usually through methods such as, well, with this one, it's cutting, tearing and curling. And think of it like this. It's like if you have an apple but you bruise it, or a banana that you bruise it, so you might bite a bit of your apple and the skin will start to turn brown. That's called oxidization, and that's the same thing that happens with tea. So the more you kind of disrupt its natural form by cutting, tearing and curling it, the more bruised the tea leaves become, and that oxidizes the tea, which makes it really strong in flavour, and also slightly higher in caffeine as well. But that's why when you get blends like our Builder's Breakfast Brew and our Assam House Blend, they taste really rich and really strong, as opposed to our Great British Cuppa, which is a whole leaf. So that's a lot more light and malty, as opposed to really rich and strong. You will taste a few more tannins with the cut, torn and curled teas, but some people love that kind of thing. Really nice, really rich, and I think if you're an Earl Grey fan, you'll love this one as well. Okay, so it's been 4 minutes. You can see already that the chocolate digestives has started to brew into the water. So it's nice, rich colour. Now these strainers are really handy because the lid just comes off like so, and it acts like a little table, so it keeps your drink warm whilst it's brewing. But also, if you pop it on the side, when you take the strainer out like this, let the water run out of it, then you can just set it on the top like that without making a mess. So super handy. So I'm just going to put a splash of cold milk in here, like you would just any old cuppa, and give it a try. So like I said, this one does make a really nice latte as well, so if you fancy giving that recipe a try, you definitely should. It's also a nice cold brew. It's like a chocolate milkshake, and you have it with coconut or oat milk, but sometimes there's nothing wrong with just having a regular cup of tea. That is so good. It's such a classic. It tastes just the same as it smells. So if you're someone that maybe is trying to cut back on sugar a little bit in January, as lots of us do, this could be quite a nice alternative way to have a sweet treat without the sugar. Or if you're like me and you want to have both, then I think a chocolate digestive on the side of this cup of tea is the absolute perfect January treat. So give these a try and let me know what you think. Okay, so moving on to the last box of our tea tasting club for January, we have our Caffeine Free Box. Perfect for those of you that are avoiding caffeine, trying to cut down on caffeine, or it's just not for you. All of these blends are completely caffeine free. We've got 2 herbal blends and a rooibos blend here. These kinds of teas are known as tisanes, and that basically means that these teas are blended up of ingredients that actually are not tea at all. So tea comes from the Camellia sinensis tea plant, and teas that are made of the Camellia sinensis include black teas, green teas, white teas and oolong teas. So any other bases on our tea wall are actually tisanes. They're made up of other ingredients like herbs, flowers, root, that kind of thing. And those consist of yerba mate, fruit teas, herbal teas and rooibos teas. So all of these 3 are all tisanes, so they naturally have no caffeine in them. So in this collection, we've got the Moondrop Dreams, which is actually in all of our boxes. That's how popular it is, and I know that you're all going to love it, so I'm really excited about that one. We've also got a lovely classic peppermint. This one is so underrated. Like, I think a lot of us love a peppermint tea, but this one is a special peppermint tea. It is so fresh and raw and lovely. It smells so good, and it's got some really beautiful little blue cornflowers in there as well, which really elevates the blend. It looks lovely and it tastes amazing. We also have our lemon and ginger. So I touched on this one already as well, because it was in the Flavour Explorer box. And this is, like I said, really zingy and fresh and really sweet. It's so like naturally sweet. It's so good, and it makes a really good cold brew. So that's what I'm going to show you for this collection. So here is my cold brew bottle. If you don't have a cold brew at home, I'd really recommend that it becomes something that you've got on your wish list, because it is so handy. You can make loads of different types of teas out of your cold brew bottle. All of our teas in our entire collection can be brewed hot or cold, so it's a great way to get even more out of your tea. So some teas you might want to brew it with oat milk, for example chocolate digestive, which we touched on earlier. If you brew that one in oat milk as a cold brew, it's really nice. It's almost like a chocolate milkshake. Whereas blends like lemon and ginger, you might want to brew that one with like a lemonade, or maybe a tap water or a sparkling water. So if you are someone that wants to cut down on sugar, or maybe you've got kids and you want to get them involved instead of having like a squash, maybe you want to make them some cold brew tea, this is a really great way to do that. So if you just use tap water and lemon and ginger, it makes a really nice kind of squash replacement. So much room for experimenting. Also, if you're someone that's going alcohol free, this is a great option for you. So if you want to make a cold brew, all you need to do is grab your cold brew bottle. It's got a silicone lid like this, and it's got a built-in strainer, which I'll show you, just like that, and it just clips in, so it's super easy to use, and you haven't got to worry about straining it because it does it for you. It just catches all those tea leaves, and it's got quite a fine mesh as well, so it can handle most teas really. It can even handle rooibos, which sometimes can slip through the net, but not with this. So I'm going to use 6 teaspoons of tea. You can use 4 to 6, but I like a strong tea, so I'm going to put 6 in mine. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. And then I'm going to use lemonade to top it up. Okay, so I've got some lemonade here. It's nothing special, just, you know, any old lemonade you can get from the corner shop. We do like to use sugar-free or diet lemonade, just because sometimes the full sugar lemonade can kind of overpower the flavour of the tea, but it's completely up to you, whichever you prefer. It's all about experimentation, just having fun with it really. So you could use sparkling water instead if you wanted to, whatever you fancy. I'm just going to fill that to the top to let that brew. Now, cold brewing is all about time rather than temperature, so you always want to use cold liquid in your cold brew bottle, and it takes a bit longer to brew, but it makes for a really strong, rich flavour. So I'm just going to leave this in the fridge now to brew for 4+ hours. If you're at home, I quite like to get it into my routine to make a cold brew bottle whilst I'm having dinner, put it in the fridge, so the next morning when I wake up, it's good to go and I can have it from working from home. I can be sipping on my cold brew for the day. Or if you're someone that likes to have a cold brew tea at night, then you can just pop one in the fridge whilst you're having your breakfast, and then when you come home from work, it'll be ready to go. So I'm just going to pop the lid on and let that brew. Now, as I touched on earlier, this is a really great way to make an alcohol substitute. So if you're someone that's trying to cut back on alcohol, maybe you're doing dry Jan this year, maybe you're always alcohol free, or maybe you're sober curious, this is a really great way to still get involved with all those lovely delicious drinks, but without having to have any alcohol. We've got a lot of good blends that are inspired by alcohol as well, but of course they are alcohol free because they're made from tea. So we've got a mojito, we've got sangria, amongst some others. There is a great little section on our website that you can check out that has a whole section dedicated to this alcohol inspired tea blends. So it should hopefully help you on your sober or alcohol-free journey, even if that may only last for January. But also, if you did want to make it into a cocktail, you could. So it's very versatile and a great way to get involved, try lots of new things, try experimenting with teas in different ways, and enjoying all the flavours along the way. So I'm going to pop this in the fridge now, and it'll be ready for me in 4 hours. But I really hope you enjoyed your caffeine-free collection as well. It's so delicious. All these blends are so different. I think it's going to be perfect to kickstart your January. So I hope you all enjoyed your January's Tea Tasting Club boxes. Let us know if any of you got the Tea Tasting Club as a gift for Christmas this year. I hope you all had a really great Christmas and a really happy new year, and let's kickstart 2024 with loads of delicious blends, and we're going to keep that coming out to you throughout the whole of 24 and beyond. So happy sipping. If you enjoyed all these blends, please let us know. Follow along with all of our Tea Tasting Club videos, and make sure you give us a follow on socials as well. But yeah, happy January, and we'll see you for February's Tea Tasting Club.